Hey everyone, we have the university self-image dataset. We're going to run descriptive analysis. So I'm going to do this one in Excel, and then there'll be another video if you want to use JASP. Honestly, they're about the same. JASP is a little bit prettier when it comes to visualizations, but it doesn't matter for this one. You can use either program. Up at the top, you want to go to Data and Data Analysis over here. If you do not have Data Analysis as an add-in, we got to add that. So we're going to go to File, More, Options, pause the video and go back through it. Add-ins. Right now, Data Toolpack is up here as an active add-in. Yours will be listed down here. Double-click it or drag it up here. Down here, hit the Go button. Don't leave this until you hit the Go button. That's where you will check it, make sure it's good, hit OK, and then the data analysis will be there. So I'm going to click on data analysis. It's going to give me a lot of options. I'm going to descriptive statistics. Again, I'm doing this very fast. You can pause the video and follow me. So descriptive statistics in Excel are going to be all of our continuous variables only. We got to do something a little bit wonky when it comes to our 3 categorical variables. But what's cool is I can put them all in at the same time. So I'm going to include the header of my 7 items are continuous. They're technically ordinal, but we are using them as continuous. We have a mean score. We have our GPA. I'm going to either scroll all the way down, or I'm going to hit Control-Shift-Down. If you're on a Mac, sorry, good luck. And that's going to highlight all of those for me in my input range. I did include labels. I'll show you why you want to do that. But make sure that you check labels in the first row. Otherwise, it's going to give you an error that says something about non-numeric data included, and it will like shut everything down. I also want to include summary statistics. And I want all of my stuff to go in a new worksheet, which is going to open up a new tab. Yes, that's what I want. Okay, click OK. It just did a new tab for me. So I'm going to go ahead and label this continuous stats, descriptive stats, continuous items. That way you have it. Right now, up top, you see all of my names. If you do not include labels, it will just label it something, and it's sometimes hard when you put in a lot of data to remember what's what. So item 1 is all right here. If you really like color coding, this can be kind of nice to color code across so that you can see them a little bit better, but it's totally up to you. Let's look and see what we have in these. So let's look at GPA for the heck of it. So I have my mean. GPA is a 3 roughly 5. If you don't like all of these decimals, which they drive me nuts, I can go up here to, it's right under view, there's this general, and I can just decrease to 2 decimal places. Per APA, we like 2 decimal places. You can just highlight all of it and do that as well. So my mean is about 3.46. This is my standard error. I'm going to ignore that one. Median, 3.5. So we can see our median and our mean are pretty close. But the median central tendency is a little bit more. Most people were listing a 4.0 GPA. So our mode, the most, is a 4.0. I have my standard deviation right here. So I'm going to highlight a couple things that I need. I need my standard deviation. I'm going to report my mean. And I'm going to report my skewness. So I can see that I have a skewness that is outside of 1. So it's not, if a skewness is between plus and minus 1, it is normal. So we can see that this is not a normal distribution. It's skewed to the negative. So if you visualize that with me, that means the tail of the distribution is pointing towards the negative. So we're going to say that this is not normal, and we have outliers on the negative side. That doesn't mean that the outliers have a negative GPA. That just means that the outliers are the low ones, which makes sense because our mode is 4. So that means most people have a 4.0 GPA. If somebody listed a 2.0 GPA, they're going to probably be the outlier. They're on that negative side. They're on the lower side. And that's it. So I'm just going to go through for all of these, and I'm going to do the same thing. So mean, standard deviation, skewness. That's what I'm going to be recording. It is also really nice to think about min and max here. So I did have somebody that reported a 1.0 GPA, and the highest was a 4. So it kind of gives me an idea of the range of what we're dealing with. This is especially useful with our items. So we had a 1 to 5 scale. If any of these, which they don't, only had a max of 4, then nobody used a 5-point scale. Or if it had a minimum of 2, then that shows nobody was using the lower scale. So with continuous items, I also want to do a visualization. So I'm going to highlight an item, and I'm going to go up to Insert, and this is a continuous item, so I'm going to go to histogram right here. So this little symbol right here is histogram. Boom, there's my histogram. So I can quickly see that nobody's really in this 2 range, which is a little bit weird, but we do have some kind of gaps within what we're seeing. I don't like that these charts pop up right here, but you can copy the chart, go to a new tab, and paste. I don't know, hold on. I think I have to paste special. Copy. Right click, paste special, and we want to paste it as a picture because otherwise it's going to try to link this to the other tab, and if you change anything, it changes everything, and just trust me, paste it special as an image. You can also copy it and just take it straight into your Word doc, which might be a little bit easier. So I'll create histograms for all of my continuous items. Specifically, my mean and GPA are the ones of focus that I want to see what's happening. Okay, so let's look at our categorical items. This is where Excel gets really clunky. If I try to just take school level, for example, I have 3 options, undergrad, grad, and doc, and I try to make a bar chart. I'm just going to go up here and I'm going to make my bar chart. That is not what I want. All that is doing is showing me across the 360 people, so each person gets their own bar. That's not helpful, so I don't want to do it that way. Instead, I need to figure out my frequencies. How many undergrad, how many masters, how many doc are we actually talking about? So I'm going to select all of my data. I'm going to go up to data and to sort. My data has headers, make sure that's clicked, it's super easy. And my cursor was just at school level, so that's what I'm going to type in. All this is doing is sorting my data by school level. I do not want to sort just a single column. You got to sort the whole data set. Otherwise, your row will no longer be accurate. So your person information is not accurate. So I'm just going to scroll down. Whoa, way too far. And I'm going to highlight all of my ones. When I do that, down here at the bottom, there is a count. And my count is 269 ones. So I'm going to just go down here for ease. And I'm going to type in 1 is my undergrad, and I have 269 of those. Now I need to figure out how many 2s and how many 3s. My 3s, again, I'm just going to scroll up, look down here. I have 33s. How many 2s do I have? I have 61 twos. So I'm going to just go down here and say I had 61 and I had 30. So now what I can do is I can highlight these two, kind of like this little mini table, go up to Insert, to Bar Graph, and that looks much better. So I can definitely quickly see that I have a lot more ones and quite a few threes. Actually don't like that. Why don't I just do this? Just highlight that. Even better, that got rid of just those little tiny things. So 1, 2, 3, bar graph done. Again, copy your bar graph, paste it somewhere, right click, paste a special, paste it as a picture. Now I can take this anywhere. You can also definitely edit chart title and stuff like that. You can make this be a little bit more pretty, but for the purposes of this, not a big deal. So I'll go through and I'll do that with both all three categorical datas.